once in a while, I come across a story that is so inspirational that I just can't wait until I can share it with you. And when you start thinking about Instagram influencers, what comes to mind, right? The duck selfies, these young gals and guys in their teens and early 20s with all these exotic poses and all these exotic places, right? Well, I'd like to introduce you to Arlinda McIntosh. Now, Arlinda is an Instagram influencer, but as you'll see, she's not quite 19 anymore. Well, she's 29 like the rest of us, right, Arlinda?
No.
No, not at all?
No, not at all.
All right, so you are the founder of your own Instagram clothing company, correct?
Yes.
And so how did that get started?
Okay, I'll try to make a long story really short. In my late 20s, I was married, and I came home for lunch to surprise my husband. He surprised me. He had flew the coop, and I had days to figure out how am I going to get rent, which was due in the next couple of weeks. So I called up two of my girlfriends and I let them know what happened. And one of them said to me, why don't you make us something? At the time, I wasn't making clothing. I was working at a cable company. So I took her up on her offer. I ran to the fabric store and I bought denim, really cheap denim. And I made 5 denim jumper dresses and I gave them each one. I sold them to them for $25 a piece. So I took that $125, I put $100 to the side, took another $25, and I went back to the cheap dollars fabric store. And I asked them if they come back again, if I do this again next week, would they come back? So they said, yeah, they bought friends, and I made it here somehow. That was so long ago, but.
Well, I think it's just fabulous. So have you always had an interest in fashion?
No.
So were you like this exotic dresser that your friend said, hey, Arlinda, make us some really cool clothes?
As a kid, I would actually rather collect bugs. As a young adult, fashion never entered my mind. I've always dressed the way that people see me now, but I never knew that it was of interest to anyone. That was just what I liked. I've always liked a lot of fabric. You know, I have denim skirts with trains on the back. I think I just like the excess of.
I see. And so when you started your Instagram account, how many followers did you have?
Well, when I started, probably my family, maybe like 3, 4. But it picked up really quickly, but I didn't really notice it because when I started it, I didn't start it for fashion. I just started it because I was with Facebook early on. So, I mean, I was on Instagram as soon as Instagram started. So I've always been interested in, now that I know that tech is short for technology, and that may sound funny to some people, but when you're going through life, you just accept things as they come.
Sure, yeah.
You give them a name. They're just what they are.
Absolutely. And so you started modeling your own clothes, right? Is that when you saw the difference in your sales and the Instagram followers?
Yes. To be honest, I never looked at it as modeling because, you know, we're taught that models are tall and thin. So when I was having a problem getting people to put the clothes on because they always had a complaint, oh, I'm too fat, I'm too skinny, I said, well, I still have to show these clothing to the world, so I'm just going to put them on. I have me, I wake up with me, I go to sleep with me. So I'm going to put them on and I'm going to see what happens. And surprisingly, it picked up. And so I think that maybe the older people look and say, oh, I can wear that. And the younger people look and say, oh, if she can do it, I know I can do it. And maybe I might even look better because I'm younger. So that was just my thought. It happened, but everything with me that happened with my brand was organic. So I never really started a business and said, oh, let me make a business plan. I just kind of went with the flow.
Okay, and so your business started taking off. And I read somewhere that your sales actually doubled. In
Yes.
what period of time did that happen?
Oh, wow, quickly. I'm going to say within the first year that I actually started putting my focus on this is marketing. I'm showing these, I look at it like I'm showing people clothing. You look at it as marketing. Now I get it. But if I had looked at it as marketing then, I may not have done it this way, because for me, I'm just doing something.
Sure, and you're doing something that you love and you're great at it, and good stuff like that. Now, when you start looking at Instagram, so many people are trying to figure out, what is that magical formula for Instagram that will get me all these followers? Is it by doing stories or live streams, or maybe like picking a certain theme for a certain month? Do you have like a secret to success that you could share with us?
I just do what I like.
Perfect.
So I'll look online sometimes and look up today is National what Day. Oh, let me put on something and make it that, like National Marshmallow Day. Maybe I'll put on all white and buy a bag of marshmallows. Or maybe I'll even make up something. Today is National Girls with Curly Hair Day. Today is National I Learned a New Way to Code Day. So anything that comes to my mind, I do it. There's no magic, because you can't tell from one day to the next what is happening. You just have to do something.
It gets, and that's a really good point, because so often when we start talking about marketing on social media, it's organic. I mean, what happened yesterday, what worked yesterday is not going to work tomorrow. How did you come up with the name Sofistafunk?
Oh, that was funny. A few years back, around the 90s, like 94, 95, I was using sophisticated, it was retro trend-setting, sofistafunk styles. And that was what, I had an interview, and I didn't want to go with the black book, which was then called a portfolio, but I didn't, it was boring to me, but I didn't know that was the thing I was supposed to do. So I showed up at a really big casting for designers and stylists with I wanted my son to create me a book that would look like a magazine, but act as a portfolio. So I like words, so I called it a magfolio. So when I showed up with that, that's how I actually got that position, because it was the person that was looking at it thought that it was a magazine at first. And then when she realized it was someone's portfolio, I became afraid, like, oh my God, now they're gonna hate me. I have something different. Wow, maybe I should have bought that black book. But it worked. So later on, I decided that my garments were sophisticated yet funky. So when I first put the words together, I thought, okay, that's kind of stupid. Nobody's gonna believe that. That makes no sense. So I used something else.
I think it's a great name. I love the name Sofistafunk. I think it's so genuine. And it really says what your outfits are really. I mean, they're sophisticated, they're funky, they're a little out there. It may not be something that you'd wear to a business function, but it's certainly something that you could wear every day and have fun in.
Everything that I do, I wanted to be multifunctional, because if you look at the hashtag one skirt, endless possibilities, that's our skirt that we've been doing since the 90s, and it's called The Gathering. That skirt is multifunctional. And when you say you can't wear it to work, but it's more for fun, actually, I don't want to say that's not true, but I'm not trying to change the world, but I want the world to see that it's all only fabric.
Sure.
Someone made a rule that you can't wear certain things in corporate, and you have to wear certain things on a red carpet, but it's all only fabric, and we make the rules.
What advice would you give to folks who say, you know what, that Instagram, that's creating an online business, that doing whatever, that's for the younger people. I can't do that. I mean, what advice would you have?
For me, and I can only speak for me, the advice I would give to someone of my age or older, and there's a lot of younger people that are not on social media, it's fun. And why not move along with what's happening? I personally, I don't like when I hear women my age say, oh, who does your Instagram? I manage 3 Instagram accounts and 2 cell phones and a phone. I have to do that because I can't rely on younger people or even my children. My son is your type of techie. But I can't rely on him and his company because he has a life, he has a business. So I learned from him, and there's always Google.
That's
So
right.
exactly. So I want to know that I know how to run my own.
And that's really great advice. And thank you, Arlinda, for joining us. And we're certainly going to link to your Instagram page over at our website, komando.com. And we're so proud of you. And I think it's so amazing what you've done. What an inspirational story. So, folks, if you're sitting there and you're saying, oh, this is something that I could never do. I mean, I just need to make some extra money, Kim. And, I look at making money and I'm going to be an Uber or Lyft driver or whatever. Start thinking out of the box. Don't let age be your barrier. Look at Arlinda. She's like amazing. She's doing incredible things, and you can too. And if you need more tips, we've got them free for the taking over on our website, komando.com. Hey, thanks for watching. Now, a few things. Don't forget to click the like button and also subscribe to our YouTube channel. And for more digital know-how, check out all these other great links.